Aston Villa going for top four against Manchester United, who have to win this game. They have to win it. A draw, okay, it keeps it open. There's still a lot of games left. But lose this tomorrow at Villa Park for United, and with Spurs winning today, that gap to top four or even fifth just becomes very, very difficult in a season where everybody's beating everybody. So absolutely huge game. Villa, of course, so good at Villa Park, but have lost their last two at home. It would be unthinkable to predict they could lose again. That would be 3 losses at home in a row after such a great run under Emery of being unbeaten at home. So can Villa bounce back? Manchester United, 2 wins in a row. Ten Hag did say, when I get my big players back, you'll see what happens. Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Martinez come back. Manchester United win 2 games relatively comfortably. But Martinez injured, and you worry about what that's going to do to Manchester United because he's such a key player in the way we want to play. I think it's a tough game to predict because both teams really need a reaction. But what I would say is that the first goal is key in this game. United, if we score first, we tend to go on and have a good game. If we concede, heads can drop. But I've seen that with Villa recently as well. Villa against Chelsea conceded very early and never really had a comeback to that. And the same thing happened at Newcastle. So I think the first goal is going to be key. I think Villa are a confidence team, and I think Manchester United are a confidence team. So to me, it's about who starts the game well and who scores first, because I think they will go on to win the game. And I do think we'll get a winner. It's really difficult to predict. It really is. But I think if United win this, then top four is still on. If they lose it, then I think it's going to be between Villa and Spurs, and United's best hope is probably going to be 6th. Who needs it more? I think they both need it. I think they really do. I think I'd love United to win for obvious reasons, but I think it would make it more interesting. But if Villa win it, then then it comes between about them and Spurs. Villa don't want to get sucked into another team chasing them down, especially with they're the only team of the 3 who've got European football as well, and I think they'll do very well in that. So I'm probably going to go for a draw on this and sit on the fence. I really will. But can I see either of those teams finishing the top 4? Yeah, I think it's wide open. I think if Villa win tomorrow, they'll push Spurs all the way. If United win, I think they've got a chance of getting back into it. So yeah, very, very interested to see that. But taking it away from that for the moment, Manchester United this week, we've heard some plans about Manchester United potentially moving away from Old Trafford. So Jim Radcliffe's come into the club with Ineos. There's been a lot of discussion about this week. Ex-players, the media, fans talking about it. And to be fair, I think from what we do on the United Stand, there's probably about a 50-50 split between moving away from Old Trafford and building a state-of-the-art #North Wembley of the North, or staying at Old Trafford and renovating. Look, personally, I do not want Manchester United to leave Old Trafford. It's the soul of this football club. It should be a listed building as far as I'm concerned. Football isn't religion, but if it was, that's your church. And I don't want Manchester United to leave Old Trafford. I'd be ridiculously jealous of teams like Liverpool if we knocked Old Trafford down to build a big Emirates type stadium and then they're still playing at Anfield. This is our biggest rival. Old Trafford, it's been there all my life. It's been there for decades. It's what Manchester United's all about. I respect people who want to leave there, but it will be so saddening. And the thing is, when you knock it down, it's gone. You get your new shiny toy and your old one's gone. How many of us have done that at Christmas? We throw our old toys away because we get a new one, and after a couple of months, you're back playing with your old toy. I do not want Manchester United to leave Old Trafford. I have sympathy with Ineos and Sir Jim, because we all know it's going to be more cost effective to build something from scratch than try and renovate something that's been allowed to rust for 20 years. And that's the problem. If Man United had kept on top of it under the Glazers over the last 20 years, we wouldn't have to leave. But financially, what do? You build a new stadium, you move out of Old Trafford into the new one, you knock Old Trafford down, revenue keeps coming in. You renovate Old Trafford, where are you going to play? We're almost locked into this horrific situation that we have to leave. But that doesn't mean I have to be okay about it. I think it's an absolute stain on our history if we move away from Old Trafford, and it shouldn't be happening. But my eyes are wide open to it, and it's very, very sad. And I can see why they're looking at it, because everybody knows it's the most viable financial option, but it's a disgrace that it's having to happen, and it can only be at the Glazers' door. You can't really blame Sir Jim. I can't imagine for 1 minute Sir Jim Radcliffe, as a lifelong Manchester United fan, wants to leave Old Trafford. But I imagine he's surrounded by people saying financially it's going to cripple you if you try and stay here. It's a horrible situation. It really is. But I'm not impressed by shiny new stadiums. I preferred Highbury to the Emirates. I'll prefer Goodison Park to whatever Everton build. You know, I like the clubs to be. I like the history, and Manchester United's got the biggest history out of any club in England and arguably in the world.